Shalom. First off, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father's true name, Yahweh Shai being the name of His only begotten Son. I want to give double honor unto the elders and the apostles, a great millstone, who rule well and teach well. And our peace, blessings, and salutations to all you walking throughout the four corners of the earth, continuing to push and do the works in truth and in sincerity. It's the brother Mashah Mayam, one of the men coming up under the branch out here in the morning camp. I'm here with another lesson inspired off of the Apostles' Live, and of course through the Spirit. They went into a few precepts, or they went into a precept that caught my attention, and just I thought I'd put something on wax and do a lesson on it. So, but just pretty much going into certain guys and these other guys, and even guys that are among Great Millstone or that are listening, that just come for entertainment's sake and they just listen, and as it says in the precept, we're gonna grab, but just pretty much guys that aren't ultimately just don't take it the truth completely serious, and just something that I was thinking about, and just just not being those individuals, you know. When we hear the apostles bring up those examples, and of course it wasn't anybody in by name exactly, but just just stating the fact that there's individuals out there that are just here for entertainment. We don't want to be those individuals. So I thought I'll just do a lesson on it. I'm gonna start off with the precept they brought out in Ezekiel chapter 33, and starting at the 30th verse. Also, thou son of man, the children of thy people are still talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, Come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that cometh from the Lord. And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness. So this is a precept they brought out, and I was reading along, and it was like, man, because individuals that are in this spirit here, of course the Lord is gonna destroy them, and they're gonna die and perish on this side with all the wicked. So, and I was with the brothers yesterday night, and they were just having a conversation, and I wasn't there to hear the whole combo, but pretty much a brother brought out a point, and he mentioned we say and we add points, and we say things, but we wanna do them. So it was just on my spirit to do this lesson, because that's the times that we're in. We wanna when we whatever it is that we're speaking about, or whatever it is we're trying to get better at, we want to just simply go ahead and do it. Because I'm not sure. It was, I mean, it was a while back. It was a photo I seen. I mean, just gonna take the idea from that and apply it onto this subject. But pretty much it was a statue, and the caption said I don't even remember how it goes, but pretty much the statue was like it was like he was posing, and the caption said something like, "Don't just sit there and think." Or the statue was sitting there, and he was in a thinking pose, and it said, "Don't sit there and think, but actually do." Because if you sit there and think all day, then you won't actually accomplish and do what you want to do. So, I mean, once again, it was a while back. I don't even fully remember it, but every once in a while it pops up. So, it feels fresh in my mind. I can probably explain it better. But just tying it into this topic, we don't want to talk a lot and then not actually do it, because once again, as it says here, for with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness. So it's easy, because that's another thing too. And brothers already know, Jake being Jake, Jake can use the mouth a lot for a lot of things. Jake can talk a lot, but a lot of times when it comes to the action and actually doing, Jake doesn't really apply it. So, and once again, this is an exhortation, and this is directed towards individuals that are without, that are actually doing the works. It's not towards brothers or anything like that. So, but verse 32, and lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument, for they hear thy words, but they do them not. And when this, so right, they just hear to be entertained. And that's another thing I was thinking about as I was driving earlier. Once you hear the words, it's edifying, and these are powerful words, even among brothers. You sitting there listening, and this for younger brothers, you sitting there listening. When you get by yourself, you want to actually think upon those things that were said and actually apply it. Yeah, brothers went in on that topic, so I want to actually, it was powerful and it was edifying, and I want to actually do it. Verse 33, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them, right? And so this is talking about when these prophecies come to pass, and when the things that we're speaking of, all right, come to pass, because they've sat before you and they've heard, but they didn't really do them. So when these prophecies come to pass and take them away suddenly, all right, then they're gonna know that a prophet was among them. So, but from here, let's grab the book of James. James chapter 1 and verse 22. But be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. And that's plain and simple to the point. Be ye doers of the word and not hearers only. So we don't want to just hear these words or even speak them, and because you can hear and regurgitate, but we want to actually do them. We want to be appliers. And it says what? And not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. So that's another thing too. And every once in a while, brothers will bring up that point, deceiving your own self, and it's been sitting in my mind a lot, and it's like, yeah, we don't want to be deceiving our own selves, because the scriptures also say the deceived and the deceiver are his, all right, concerning the Lord, the Most High, because everything's in his hands. He's the Father of spirits, of course, but it says the deceived and the deceiver are his. So we want to make sure we being on this good side and being used as vessels onto salvation, because that's a scary thing too. You can be in this thing onto the end and then be casted out at the end, because the Lord was just using you to wake somebody else up, and that's a fearful thing, everyone, that I think about every now and then too. So from there, let's grab James chapter 2 and verse 20. We'll read this. James 2 and 20. But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Right. So faith, we say we have faith. Of course, that's why we're here, and that's why we can't come within this truth. And all this time you spent, because once again, all this time you spent, you've been listening. You stood out there on the other side of the line, because every brother's gone through that. It's a process that every brother goes through. You got to be tried, of course. You stood on the other side of the line. You got into the camp. You're in the camp, and even until now, at this point. So that's an act of that's a show of faith right there. All right, and especially the elders and the apostles, they've been in this thing what 30 plus years, 25 plus years. So that's definitely an act of faith, because you're not going to be doing something so long like that and then you're just doing it. If you don't have faith in something, you're not going to put your time and effort into it. So that's definitely an act of faith, and that's a thing. So we have faith, and we showed that faith by coming, right? But it says what? That faith without works is dead. So we want to make sure we're doing works, most importantly too. That's a part of the job, of course. We came into this thing, but then continuing. And also, most importantly, application, because it's still the point the brother made yesterday. It stuck out, or should I say, I've been meditating upon it. It's like we want to do. We don't want to just talk and add points. We want to actually do. So, and not be not deceivers. From there, let's get Romans chapter 2 and verse 13. Romans 2 and 13. Now, this in this precept, Paul's going into pretty much the Gentiles and the Jews versus the Greeks, and we're not going into how the Jews, they boast about the law. So if you're not keeping the law and whatnot, you weren't raised up under the customs of the Israelites, then you're not an Israelite no more to them, and you can't take part of this truth and whatnot. And Paul was pretty much defending the Gentiles, and that's pretty much how this precept that's pretty much why this precept is here. But reading it, Romans 2 and 13, for not the hearers of the law are justified before the Most High, but the doers of the law shall be justified, right? So he's going into pretty much how the Jews, they complain and talk about the law, but the Gentiles actually, by heart and through spirit, they're doing those things because it resonates with their spirit. So, matter of fact, we'll just read down. Verse 14, for when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, these, having not the law, are a law unto themselves, which show the work of the law written in their hearts, their conscience also bearing witness, and their thoughts, the meanwhile accusing also, Salakia, the meanwhile accusing or else excusing one another. So pretty much going into the laws and whatnot, but pretty much Paul was using this example, and we can apply it through the Spirit. Just as it says, for not the hearers of the law are justified before the Most High, but the doers of the law shall be justified. So applying it in this topic, you can't just sit there and listen all day and say yeah and con and nod, but you're not actually doing it. That's not going to justify you, because the scriptures also say, show me thy works by thy faith. All right. Let me see. Matter of fact, let's get that. When we jump up. So like it, bear with me real quick. I'm trying to find the precept where it says matter of fact, let me just look it up. James chapter 2 and verse 18. Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. So faith, once again, of course, is backed up by works. So from there, let's get Sirach, and then we'll probably end it. Sirach chapter 6 and verse 19. Sirach 6 and 19. And this is talking about wisdom. Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits. For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon. So it's saying, come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth. And when you go into plowing and sowing, that's physical labor. All right. So that's the same thing. We want to applying it in this sense. We want to put in the work and actually apply, because that's the same thing. You can have the knowledge on plowing and sowing, but what if you're not actually doing it? You're not going to reap the fruits of it. It's like a farmer has all the knowledge on what to do and on farming, but he's not actually out there applying. Is he gonna reap anything if he's not applying and actually working? So it's the same thing with this wisdom. We want to actually be applying these things that we learn. And once again, And this really isn't anything super deep. It's just simple things, really. All right. The apostles say 3 videos a week, so we should be striving. Turn on the camera if turn on the camera and pray to the Lord and do a lesson. Pick up that book and read. Do what you gotta do. Fast, pray. You know, and sacrifice time, being with brothers and whatnot. Things of that nature. That's actually us applying, and even giving things to brothers that may be in need. All those things. That's actually us applying, and we're not just reading it because it says what show brotherly love. The precept, but if you're not actually applying it and doing it, then you're not really doing it. It says give attendance to reading, to doctrine, and to exhortation. If you're sitting there idle, you know that precept in your mind, but you're not actually picking up the book and reading. You're not studying. So then that's not actually applying. So that's pretty much the point of the lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, for putting the spirit upon me to do this lesson. I hope it was edifying. Giving double honor out to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone, who rule well and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all Yuakim throughout the four corners of the earth, continuing to push and do the works in truth and in sincerity. And Shalom Akim, continue to apply. Shalom.